Afternoon.
Afternoon.
We'll get this out of the way first, Ronald. That Barcelona question has raised its head again. This time Frank de Boer's agent has said Barcelona already have managers like Ronald Koeman in mind. Is that news to you?
He's not anymore my manager.
So he doesn't know the situation then?
I don't know.
What do you make of this constant link
Nothing.
again with
Nothing.
Barcelona?
Nothing.
And how important
I
that is?
will always relate it to Barcelona. It happened in the past, it will happen in the future.
With regard to the future of Romelu Lukaku, his agent today has said that talks are ongoing. He will sign a new contract. How close is that new deal?
I don't know. I didn't speak to the board about Romelu. If his agent mentioned that he likes to stay, that he is close or he will sign a new deal, that's perfect for Everton.
And how important is it? Because effectively, I suppose you'd be getting a player to stay at this club coming into the best years of his career.
But normally players, if they see really a future in the club, if they see the team is improving, the team is getting stronger every day, that's always a plus for players to stay. And we know everybody has his own ambition. I think that's normal, that's human being. And we like to keep the good players. And he's one of that, because he is at the moment the top scorer in the league. He's really playing out of a high level, and he's so clinical that will be difficult to find a replacement for him. I hope that he will stay.
What do you believe that Romelu can achieve here, both personally and as part of the Everton team as well?
Now, first of all, it starts always by yourself. It's to improve. I think he's really a world-class finisher, but in other detail, in other qualities he can and he must improve, and he knows. And that's the most important. And if the club and the team is improving and showing the ambition, it's always a good way to stay for players. And that's what we need to show him. And that he's convinced that the future, or the short future is in Everton.
What conversations have you had with Romelu about the ambition that you have, the ambition of this club, and what you believe you can achieve here?
No, one of two. I think the most important conversation was in the beginning of the season when he came back from the Euros, and then first of all you need to explain players, and the second is they need to see it. You need to show it, and I think that is at the moment really good, and then that gives players a lot of confidence to stay.
And to stay as the Premier League's top goal scorer this season, that I'd imagine would be a big motivation for him for the run-in this season, wouldn't it?
It's a personal ambition that's good, but it starts always by the team. And if you work hard for the team is doing everything for the striker, and that's a combination. And I think that we are improving, that we have really that support for him to create the chances that he can score. And that was last weekend perfect.
And as you look at the team, obviously happy with the goals last weekend, but not so happy with the goals that you conceded.
Yeah, that's okay. If you are 3-0 up in half-time, you don't expect to get so many troubles in the second half, but okay, it was a little bit lack of maybe concentration, maybe intensity in the game. But overall, I think we're defending well. If you take out of 11 goals conceded in 3 matches against Chelsea, against Watford, and Bournemouth home, it's only conceded 16 goals in 11 in 21 games, and in my opinion, that's really good. And it's not, if you conceded more goals, it's the problem. The defenders, no, sometimes it's the problem. The whole team is not defending well, and it starts always in front, and that's what we need to improve. But look to the stats; it's much better than it was last year.
I'll ask you about James McCarthy as well, because obviously there's been plenty of speculation this season about his future. Is he a player that has maybe, since you've been here, you've had your perception of him changed? Has he had to almost win you over?
No, but maybe all of that speculation is speculations, and from the beginning, he's Everton player. I did not change my mind. Only he was not on that fitness in the beginning, and that he really showed his qualities, and the situation is not different than it was. He was never on the list to leave Everton, and that's all rumors. What it's in the press, but not from inside.
I suppose when we look back at his season, the instant then you picked up exactly what he could bring to the side was maybe the Arsenal game and the impact that he had with being able to press higher up the pitch.
But it starts always by the fitness of the player, and he had a difficult time. And okay, he's working hard to get that fitness what you need to play on a high level in the Premier League, and he showed when his fitness was really good that he's an important player, and most of the time he started the game, and that's the best what you can show as a manager to the player when he starts.
You're 7 points off the top four now, Ronald. Is that realistic to think that you could still maybe challenge the top four this season?
You change your opinion now.
I've never changed my
before today
opinion.
he was always speaking about
top
the
six.
sixth, and now
Well,
in
now
one
you're
game
closing
we
in,
need
so-
to talk about the
Well, you're on a good
first
run,
four.
aren't you? So
Yeah. Everything is possible because everybody knows the Premier League is so tough, and it's not about the opponent what you need to play. Look to Hull. They played Man United away. They play Liverpool home. They have 4 points out of that, and it's every game is difficult, and maybe our game for this Saturday, maybe it's more difficult than Tottenham away. It's all about yourself, and it's the best way to be successful is always the first game, and don't look further on because it's not important. The important is now what we play now, and it's a difficult one because they fight for the points. They fight to stay in the Premier League, and we know that can be really tough.
some would say that you could look at the next two games, Middlesbrough and Sunderland.
Yeah,
they
but
would take up that game against Spurs.
don't make that mistakes. My experience in the Premier League is sometimes you get more points out of to play against top 6 teams than against teams who fight for relegation. They fight for life, and the top teams in a difficult period in a period with a lot of games. Maybe it's different ones, but I don't make the mistake that maybe this weekend is different. No, it's really a tough one.
Ronald, there's been a perception in the past, perhaps before you came to Everton, that Romelu Lukaku thought that he was bigger than Everton, or maybe that was from his agent. Is that a sense that you get at all being around the player?
No, from day one that I'm working with Romelu, he's a perfect professional. He likes to improve. He likes to train hard. He likes to do everything. He's really involved in the team, but the club Everton is more important than the manager. The club Everton is more important than the players. It's all the team. It's all about the team. And if the team is doing well, if the team is happy, if the team is working hard, normally he will score the goals. And it starts always by the team. And the team makes Romelu the top scorer. Of course, you need the striker to have that type of qualities in finishing, but you can't do it by yourself.
Inevitably, there will be clubs who will come looking at Romelu Lukaku with the form that he's in and the goals that he's scoring. How important a role do you play between now and the end of the season in managing him personally as that man manager, or is it all down to the player being a professional?
No, I think you have always the communication with your players, and if it's something wrong or something different, then I'm the manager to talk to the player and to change things. If I see the players is like what he needs to do, then it's no problem, and I'm not different now than I was in the beginning. I will be not different in the end of the season that I am now, and that's the way how we like to work, and with all the respect to everybody.
So maybe one thing keeping you here at the club, and maybe another thing keeping Romelu Lukaku here, but you came to Everton to take them to the next level. Crucial to keep both of you here.
That's football. But at the moment, that's the most important. That there is future. I think the team is stronger than the team was in the beginning of the season, and you need time. And it's up to everybody in Everton to show that we really show that ambition and that we getting better and fighting for win titles. So everybody knows it's a difficult way. It's really difficult to come through the big six teams in the Premier League, but I'm still convinced if we are in a good direction, and we will see what it brings in the future.
You're going to a Middlesbrough side on Saturday whose manager has had a bit of a pop at his own fans, which is always a slippery slope, but does that play into your hands at all, going to a stadium like that where there's uneasiness with the fans, there's frustration there right from the first whistle?
I don't know if there is really frustration. I think they are doing well. They are fighting what everybody was expecting before the season, that it's not easy to come from the Championship and to stay after your first season in the Premier League. And I think they are doing well. The manager is really experienced. He worked with big coaches in Europe, and he was in Madrid, and now he get the possibility to show his qualities as a manager. And if I look to Middlesbrough, it's a really well organized team, and I think they now in the position on the table that everybody was expecting Middlesbrough, and they make it difficult. It's not easy. They only lost by 1-0 against Tottenham away, and that's not a bad result.
So now we've established you're going for the top 4 and not for the top 6. let's
No,
look at it.
I did not change my mind. It's step by step, and I think don't make the mistake that in 1 week, because if we don't win this Saturday, we will talk again about maybe the first 8. And now it's we need to be realistic. The first target now, because it's the team above us, what we need to catch, but it starts by yourself to win the game, and then we will see what happened.
I guess it's in everyone's hands, but when you look at your fixtures, those 6 teams above you,
Yeah, but don't
you play 5 of them.
It's not about the fixtures.
Not about the fixtures.
No. Sometimes I prefer to play Arsenal home instead of Middlesbrough home.
Do you like the idea of chasing, though? Because I know at Southampton, end of last season, you won 12 games out of your final 18 and finished 6th. Is it fun to chase when you see those teams above you, to hunt them down?
No, you can't compare Everton with Southampton. Yes, normally my team's always in a good physical stage till the end of the season. That's what we try to plan. And that's important. And then you have more possibilities to win the game if the team is really fit. And with Southampton, we won, out of the last 8, we won 7. If we keep that in Everton, yes, maybe something special will be possible this season.
Can I just ask you about your options in midfield? Idrissa Gueye didn't play at all at the weekend. Tom Davies had to come off the bench. How difficult is it for you to manage that, or easy is it for you to manage that when people like Tom have been playing so well and you're having to change it about?
No, that's the competition what we have, and now with that competition, you can really in the detail, really what we need against every opponent, and that we can change because we don't drop quality, and in detail, the midfield players are different, and that's the best what you can have. Difficult sometimes because you get people frustrated, people disappointed, but okay, it's the business, and it's the most important is to get the result, and if you start a game, okay, you can be happy. If you don't start, okay, work hard and show the manager that you need to start, and that's the best way to improve. And we know we have at the moment 5 really very good midfield players, but they are different, and we have different options to play on the midfield.
Okay, guys. Thank you.